The Virtual Boys have been playing Nintendo since they were little. These many years of experience have made them experts in the field, or at least they think so. Join them this week as they talk about leaks and the impact of leaks. You're listening to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things by Nintensity. This podcast is done by four friends that talk about anything and everything Nintendo. Check out the website at nintensity.com and be sure to follow us on social media. Be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. Oh, of course, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Boys Podcast, a Nintendo podcast about Nintendo things. This is episode 87. I'm your host, David. My grandpa works at Nintendo, so I can say without a doubt that Super Paper Mario RPG and the Crystal Shards is coming to Switch next year. And we've got James.
I heard from a reliable source that Reggie is releasing his biography, aka Mother 3.
And Skylar.
This just in, Waluigi's Haunted Hospital is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, man.
Guys, I don't even know which one of these three games would be better to have, you know?
Does it have all the graphics?
It has more than graphics.
What?
How many?
It has two graphics.
It has two whole graphics? And how many frames?
Graphics. It has 7 frames.
Seven whole frames.
No,
per
that's
millisecond.
terrible. This is gonna be worse. Not enough frames. Not enough frames.
Wait, 7 frames per millisecond? Okay, that's like 7,000 FPS.
That's not enough frames. Not enough frames.
Your Switch won't be able to run it. And with Waluigi's Haunted Hospital, they have a new Nintendo 4K Switch.
Oh, jeez.
With Waluigi's Haunted Hospital, exclusive tie-in bundle.
Okay, now I can see
If you
that.
want the game, you need to buy that Switch.
Whoa. Well, if you can't tell by our shenanigans, this week's episode is all about leaks or rumors, whatever you want to officially call them. I guess leaks are more towards the side of companies accidentally letting out info and rumors just people thinking about stuff. But we'll be talking quite a bit about those this episode. But before we start, I just want to remind you to check out our Patreon page. These episodes are going up early for a reward for those that support us. And you can check that out at patreon.com/Nintensity. And if you want to talk about this episode with us, come check out our Discord community at nintendo.city/Discord. Well, let's jump right into our leaks episode. Not the vegetable, leaks. Okay. Sorry, that was a really bad joke.
But delivering leaks.
Ew.
Yeah, ew. I don't even go any farther with that. But we decided to talk about this topic this week because there hasn't really been a whole lot of news other than some games getting release announcements, kind of like DeBlob and, you know, a bunch of reports going around about other games that are coming out. And I guess you could say that a lot of these leaks and rumors going around are largely due to Nintendo not giving us a whole lot to work with this month. I mean, we've talked about this in the past few weeks, how Nintendo hasn't given us a Nintendo Direct or anything like that. So we don't really have a whole lot to work with. But let's actually go and talk about some of the leaks that we've heard about in recent weeks that, you know, could or couldn't be true. Kind of talk about that stuff. The first one that I put on our list is Pokemon for Switch is currently being translated and is slated for a 2018 release. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, you know, I think it has to come out before March 2019. That's my thinking. Mainly because it could be the way that they end up selling the Switch very strongly. And there also needs to be some sort of online game that can really sell the Switch online. So perhaps there's some sort of Pokemon online part to this next game that they're going to have with the Switch Online. Now, whether or not it comes out in 2018, that remains to be seen, and I don't know about the whole translating the text or whatever, but I'm going to say that As much as I like it to see this year, I feel like it's more 2019, but I could be wrong.
I mean, it's like you said, Nintendo needs to sell a lot of Switch consoles. They said that they want to sell another 20 million by the end of next fiscal year, and Pokemon will definitely drive those numbers up. So, perhaps. I don't know, Skylar, do you have any thoughts on Pokemon for Switch being released this year?
I could see it, perhaps. I kind of hope, personally, that they take a little bit longer on it. Especially coming out of Sun and Ultra Moon. So
you got burned out pretty bad.
I'm kind of secretly hoping this won't come out. But as far as like the Pokemon online business, there's always the Pokemon Bank and like a few other Pokemon things that they could do still online. People love battling online too.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm sure there's a few different uses for Pokemon online that came out with Pokemon and when the Pokemon game comes out.
I mean, Wonder Trade, that's wonderful, you know?
It was like you have to pay $20 a month to do it. But there'll be other benefits and whatnot. It's a lot better than some other things. But yeah, I mean, they're Pokemon has this online functionality that could work for it. But then again, they're wanting to push it for September, the online. So who knows if that will align with it? Maybe they'll delay it again, which is not too surprising if they did. But anyway,
right.
Sorry.
I mean, if we just look at the timetable and the titles that have online functionality by September, based on what we know so far, all we have really are ARMS, Splatoon 2, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Those are the only 3 titles I can think of that actually really use online play. I mean, sure, Mario Odyssey's got the online leaderboards. Yeah, that are first party. So, I mean, I think that those 3 could be good enough to start off with, at least in my case, because, you know, I play a lot of Splatoon 2, so I'll probably be getting the online stuff. But if there's really nothing else coming out, then I don't know if it's actually really going to be worth it to a whole lot of other people. I mean, we heard Jordan say last week that he's probably not going to get it and might return Splatoon 2 with the release of the Nintendo Switch Online service. So I don't know. That's all up in the air. We don't have a whole lot of information, even though Kimishima came out and said that the next announcement that we get for Nintendo Switch Online is going to be worth the wait, I guess. Whatever that means.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Continuing with our list, the next thing was the starters being leaked for the next generation of Pokemon. Did you guys see the images for them?
Yes.
They were not pretty. I'm like, yeah, they were confirmed fake a week or so ago. And yeah, they just looked awful.
Well, some people really thought they were they were real. Well, you know, I and I'm not saying I was one of them, but I did take it with I took it with a grain of salt, and I was like, could this really be like because I remember when the I think it was the final evolutions for Alola starters, when those leaked, I was a little bit skeptical because I thought it was just too perfectly planned out. Like they had like a character from the anime and everything. There's like there's no way this could be it, but it turned out to be true.
Yeah.
With this one, they didn't have as many details, so that kind of got me. And the Japanese looked like it was copied for some. It was like no one has that. I mean, unless I don't know, like no one who's drawing these would take the time to write perfectly in Japanese, like perfect strokes and everything. Anyway, that was my thinking, but a lot of people would say, well, you know, I mean, what about the last leak with the starters? Okay, whatever. Yeah, just they turned out to be fake. So.
Right. I mean, even the confidential stamp in the bottom corner of all of these images, it's like, why would they stamp it confidential in English if this was a Japanese thing? Do they do that? Have you seen that before?
Well, yeah, they did that. Didn't they do that with the starter?
Oh, yeah.
The final starters, whatever. I think they did, and that was another thing that threw me off with that. But again, it's obviously was trying to copy somewhat that leak.
that's another leak that happened. Not really convincing. I wasn't convinced. Like, one of them is like a pony with like tiny stubby legs and a giant mohawk for its hair.
Yeah, I think that was the one that was really just kind of didn't fit in my mind. That's
yeah, I agree. Anyway, I guess that's the Pokemon leaks. The next leak that we've got is, I guess, a rumor as well. Bandai Namco is developing Metroid Prime 4. But it's the Singapore offices of Bandai Namco. Elaborating on this rumor, kind of giving it some backbone. This was revealed by Eurogamer, I think. They were the first to report it. But they said that it was being developed by Bandai Namco Singapore. Now, that studio has a bunch of leftovers from Lucasfilm after the cancellation of Star Wars 1313, which a lot of Star Wars fans were excited about. I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but if, some developers are working on this big first-person shooter game that takes place in outer space, then I think that Metroid is in good hands.
I mean, yeah,
it would work.
I mean, I can't say one way or the other, really, because, one, I haven't played the Singapore's games at all, and I don't know, like... I trust Nintendo. Obviously they believe that Bandai has a team that can do it. So I'll leave that to them to not mess it up. And and Tanabe will be ahead of it and everything. So I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
However, I recently read somewhere that it may not actually be Singapore who's working on it. Yeah, since publication, this is Tom Phillips who reported this on Eurogamer. He says, since publication, I've heard Bandai Namco's Japan studio is also working on the project, with the intention that it will now take the lead on its development while Singapore moves to focus on another Switch game. So, to be honest, that kind of sounds dicey in itself. Like,
yeah.
Oh no, it's really Japan who's working on it, and well, no, they're gonna help out. Well, in fact, they're gonna take the lead, and then they're gonna have Singapore do something else. It's like, kind of sounds like backpedaling there. But to be fair, things change, so I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think I'm maybe a little more happy that Bandai Namco Japan is doing it. But that's just me.
At least it's not Team
Ninja.
So I think we should be good. Either way, I'm happy it's not them. Although Namco has still been known to, kind of mess with some certain series.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Star Fox Assault though, so I think they could do it.
And I do have to say, the reason why we're grateful that it's not Team Ninja is Team Ninja developed Metroid Other M. Just in case you listening at home didn't know that, Metroid Other M was developed by Team Ninja, and so at least they're off the table for this one. We won't have a repeat of Other M, even though the gameplay was really fun in that game. But we are not doing our Metroid Other M episode just yet. That's a future episode to come.
Obviously, we're doing a leaks episode right now.
Yes, we got to continue with the leaks.
Something about this leak itself, or rumor, or what have you. This was originally brought up on Twitter by various sources, so I don't know where it came from, but people were saying, "Oh, hey, look, Metroid Prime is going to be developed by Bandai Namco. Just watch." And I was like, there's no way. What? They said they're going to build their own team. Well, I guess technically they've never said their own. They're going to have a new team on it. I never thought that it would be, a different developer altogether. But there you go. And then later on, they had the LinkedIn for Singapore. Like, some guy said that, I'm working on a unannounced IP that has to do with insert Metroid Prime 4 genre here. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was funny, but I guess it turned out to be true. I don't know who would put that on their LinkedIn already. It seems a little early to start doing that, but whatever. But anyway, so long story short, I was a naysayer with Batman 8, like saying that wasn't going to happen, and if these turn out to be true, okay. I mean, I'm at the point that I believe it, so I'm sorry for saying no. Just want to say that. I'm sorry for being skeptical about it.
All I have to say, just to wrap that up, is as long as it's good, it doesn't really matter to me who made it. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Moving along the list is Yoshi for Switch is launching sometime in June. This kind of tracks with some of the things that we said earlier this year with our kind of lineup for what we expect Nintendo to do. Maybe it wasn't June exactly, but we still had the thought that it would be this year, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were thinking March to May, sometime that time. So I guess we're 1 month off.
This leak is just a pretty basic one. Comes from Amazon France, I think. They just listed that release date. So obviously it's not officially confirmed or anything, but I don't know. Retailers make mistakes like that all the time.
True.
There's not a whole lot to talk about with that leak, that rumor, so it'll be fun. I wish we knew more about the game. The next one is a pretty big one. This happened, what was it, like a week or two ago, a few weeks ago?
February
I'm not entirely sure.
2nd.
Yeah. This one is the E3 lineup. Apparently the person that managed to leak the entirety of the Nintendo Switch big announcement thing that they did last January, you know, where they announced ARMS and Splatoon 2, he managed to call the presentation pretty much beat by beat in the order that it was supposed to come out. The same person, or at least it's assumed to be the same person, has revealed that they are working at the E3 2018 setup and received a list of first-party games that Nintendo is going to show off in some form or another at E3. This is a pretty fun list. I will throw out a disclaimer there that, of course, take it with a grain of salt.
It's
a lot
fake.
of people have pointed out that it's probably fake. It's way too wish listy to be true, probably. I mean, I'll just read down some of the things on the list. We could talk about a few of them. The list starts with Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon being 2 generations, and it's the 8th generation, or two versions being the 8th generation. Bayonetta 3, Pikmin 4, Skyward Sword HD, Super Mario Maker 2, Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch, the ultimate version of Smash Bros. Luigi's Mansion 3, WarioWare, Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Yoshi, Mario Party 11, and some unknown IP developed by Retro.
A horror game, mind you.
Yeah. Oh, a horror game.
Yeah, I mean, they could. A lot of people say it's wish listy, but I could see most of these things, if not all of them, at E3.
Right, I feel the same way, especially the ones that have already been announced. You know, I imagine we'll see something about Pokemon. Metroid Prime 4, sure, I mean, we got a trailer last year. Maybe they'll show us a trailer of the first area or something. Bayonetta 3 is possible. I mean, they showed that off at the Game Awards. Yoshi, for sure. Fire Emblem, most likely. The other stuff, not so sure about.
Yeah, well, I mean, with that logic, you can just say Nintendo's going to show everything they've already announced. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a credible source. Like, you know, I don't know.
Well, I could see Pikmin 4, though.
Yeah, well, Pikmin 4, well, that's another one that they've technically already announced.
Miyamoto's been hinting at it for a while.
Yeah.
And
he literally was like, I'm making Pikmin 4. Right?
Yeah. I could see a Super Mario Maker 2 for sure.
I mean, it sold really well on the Wii, or the Wii U, so I don't see why it wouldn't
it'd be a
sell
shame.
on Switch.
It'd be a shame if they didn't bring it to the Switch.
Yeah, and then Skyward Sword, I would actually really like a remake with this, with new and improved motion controls that the Switch provides.
I think the story in Skyward Sword is one of the best in the series. It's really emotional and great, and it'd be fun to see how they make it work on the Switch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Luigi's Mansion 3, that one seems kind of wish listy. But it would be really cool to get it. I think we will see Super Smash Brothers. Whether that's like an ultimate version or a new version. I
just laughed at the name, the ultimate version. Like that, it's just like, really? Like,
Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch, the ultimate version.
I don't know. I guess that'd be cool, but if you're gonna come up with a name, just do deluxe. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe people will be like, oh, that's too easy. Like, so I don't know. I'll just say the ultimate version sounds corny as all get out, but whatever.
Yeah, and we're overdue on an Animal Crossing for sure. WarioWare, I think they would have done it by now on the console, just because WarioWare is always one of the launch titles or close to launch titles for a console, to demonstrate the hardware, really. And then Yoshi, of course, Mario Party 11, that's a given. That's going to come. I don't know when, though. So
yeah. I mean, the Mario Party series does so well as it is, and it's been going strong for years. There's no reason for Nintendo to, like, not make another one. So,
but to be honest, like, a lot of these are just kind of too safe. Like Super Mario Maker 2, that's kind of I mean, like you said, like that, it's kind of obvious that's coming. Smash, Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem. Well, okay, well, forget about games that have already been announced. Mario Party 11, whatever Retro is working on. I mean, that seems to be on everybody's list.
And I have to say, with the Skyward Sword thing, I think it would make a little more sense for Nintendo to re-release Wind Waker HD, just to kind of push it out and have something for Zelda this year, and push Skyward Sword to next year. Perhaps, if they're actually making a Skyward Sword HD. And I say this because, they need to keep up the Zelda hype to build into Breath of the Wild's successor. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a sequel. But, built around the same concepts and ideas and whatnot. But they already have Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD made. Wind Waker HD came out, 4 or 5 years ago? Like, it's been a while, and I mean, they could easily push it on the Switch, and it would probably do fairly well. I mean, it probably won't sell like hotcakes, but it'll be good. The Skyward Sword HD remake just seems like it's a lot of work for another team to work on, especially a year after Breath of the Wild's release. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just... I kind of would like not everything to come to the Switch. But
yeah, I mean that's totally fair.
Just to kind of keep my Wii U something useful on my Wii U.
Star Fox. They won't bring Star Fox to the Switch.
That's okay. They don't need to. They need to make a new Star Fox game.
Yes.
With traditional controls, Miyamoto. Anyway.
Yeah.
I would like to play Skyward Sword again with more refined motion controls.
Hey, and if they have a game-breaking glitch, like, getting the Song of the Hero out of order, they could just release an update patch instead of a separate piece of software that repairs your save file.
Yeah, for real.
That was great. All these people, Nintendo, what do we do? And they scrambled together a single WiiWare application just to repair your save file. Anyway.
So, here's why I think this is fake. One, the usernames between the two users are different mind you, by like one character, but it is different. And two, this guy's talking about he's setting up for the E3 presentation. Part of me doesn't buy that. One, because the original guy mentioned that he was for the Switch reveal, and I have no idea what he was. He must have been setting up the what they showed off in New York. But it just, it's interesting that he was able to list everything, even the indie games like Has Been Heroes, and which I don't think were on the floor. So he must have gotten his information from. Oh, he said somewhere in the European market.
Huh.
He was in Europe when he did this. So then how would he know the E3 stuff? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I personally think it's fake, but let me tell you, if this was all coming, I would be one happy Nintendo fan. I would be singing praises of 2018. Like, this is the best E3 ever. But
for real. Yeah.
I'm gonna choose to not to believe.
I'm going to choose not to believe, but there's still going to be that little bit of hope within me that's like, please, Nintendo, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. I hope I see Luigi's Mansion 3 HD Skyward Sword. That would be great.
Are there any other thoughts on any of the leaks that we've talked about, or did I miss any in the list that I made?
There was a Black Ops 4 leak.
Oh yeah.
That was basically leaked that it's coming, and recently, I believe Activision said that they're working on the next Call of Duty game, which implies that yes, Black Ops 4 is coming. However, it hasn't been announced for Switch, and probably won't be, but it could be. It could be, and the rumors could be true. But yeah, that's another one that's floating around.
That one, I don't really care much for the series, so if it comes, it comes. I mean, it doesn't really affect me in any way.
I wonder if it'll bring anybody. Like, will anybody be like, you know what? I want to play this shooting Call of Duty game on the go. Like, I wonder if that's gonna entice anybody to buy it. I don't know.
Skylar, would you get it? I know you've been on a bit of a FPS.
I don't plan on playing any Call of Duty games. Those are like the one games like the few FPSs I haven't been playing. It's Call of Duty. So I don't know. Probably not, especially since I don't know. To me, the series seems overhyped. And but I don't know. Maybe if I got my hands on a copy and played some, I'd think otherwise. I don't know. The problem is I haven't really played it. I have played Halo before, and that's why I like still playing Halo on my Xbox. And Doom is freaking great. So I mean, I'm just amazed at the amount of content they shoved in there without making you pay for DLC. So
yeah,
I'm very content with that game. So I don't know about Call of Duty. I wouldn't really care either way.
Hey everybody, it's your friend David. I'm just hopping in the middle of the episode as per usual, just to give you a few reminders and let you know what's going on behind the scenes a little bit. Just want to remind you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Nintensity, as well as our Twitter account, twitter.com/Nintensity or @Nintensity. We've been doing some fun stuff on there, posting all of our news and such, and it's a great way to be able to communicate with us in a one-on-one type fashion. We generally reply to things that people send our way. Also like to remind you to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Nintensity. Our Patreon is a great way to help support the show. I know we talk about it quite a lot, but just for a couple of dollars a month, you can help support the show and get access to these episodes early, as well as access to our patron-only chat on Discord, where you can talk about future episodes with us and just converse with other patrons and such. Speaking of our Discord, come check out our Discord community at nintendo.city/Discord. That'll give you a link directly to our Discord, and you might have just heard a little Discord notification because we are chatting on Discord right now. Anyway, that's pretty much all that I've got this week. Of course, always check out the website at nintensity.com, and please be sure to share this episode with your friends. That's another great way to support us if you can't support us through Patreon. Just sharing the show with your friends and letting us know how much you enjoy the show makes it worth it. We have some big plans for the rest of 2018, so get ready for that. That's pretty much all I've got again, so I'll just let you get back to this episode and this discussion on Nintendo leaks. Thanks again for joining us, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right, so our next little thing is we want to talk about leaks in general. Like, are they good? Are they bad? How does it affect the gaming industry? I just have to say first off that, like, I think leaks are good for building up hype, especially when they're timed properly, and if they're real. You know what I mean? Like, all these fake leaks and rumors that have been going around just kind of bum me out when they're proven to be false. Like, especially if I believed in them. Not saying that, I believe in all of them, but like the big ones that I love, like that E3 lineup that we just talked about. Like, I think that they're really fun for people that follow them at times, but they can lead to some real disappointment when they turn out to be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's why they're a bad thing. This is why I don't read into leaks like at all or try to look them up, because I know I'm just gonna get crushed afterward.
It's just gonna build you up and then tear you right down. No mercy.
Yeah, until I hear it from the mouth of Nintendo, it's like nothing's real until that happens. Even then, like, some of the stuff Nintendo has announced before hasn't really come out or come to full fruition. So it's debatable. Sometimes people wait till it actually is released before they do anything. So I don't know. I personally don't like leaks, especially if they are true, just because it was kind of like premature, and then I'm waiting longer for the game. So,
good point.
But I mean, it's great for people to show off their skills, just see how they can trick people. Some people are right, some people are wrong. Just kind of like predicting the future, trying to be Shulk. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that leaks can be fun. Like they can spark debate and stuff like that. Although people can get a little too serious with them. I mean, it's not like, it's not a matter of right or wrong. Well, I guess it does. I guess people do get it. But I'm right and you're wrong. No, I'm right and you're wrong. So I guess there is that kind of a thing going on at times. And I think we just got to calm down as a community and just be like, okay, take everything with a grain of salt, but don't brush off everything, right? Like,
right.
Or is that too generalized? I don't know, but at least that's how I want to start thinking more often. But going off what you said, showing off skills, I mean, you had like recently the Switch UI thing, the 5.0 update, that was going around as, oh, this is going to be revealed at the January Direct, and the guy who made it comes out and he's like, yep, I made this by myself. Isn't it cool? And it's like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, how did you do that? And you faked us all. Like,
yeah.
Or those old Smash character leaks.
Yeah, like the Rayman was the one that was just like so real.
Yeah, like he started making a whole video line after that of just like how to make Smash Brothers character art and stuff.
Yeah,
it was
some of the cool ones were like
K-Roll. They awesome.
Yeah, K-Roll was sweet. They showed off Banjo in that series.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely started with that Rayman, and it convinced a lot of people that he was coming.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know if I'm just a skeptic, but I don't know. I've just kind of, even the real rumors like Mario and Rabbids, I was like, no, it can't be. It can't be. Like the presentation, there's typos. Why would they be doing this within their own department? Yada 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 yada. But obviously, I was wrong, and thank goodness, because it's a great game. But but for the most part, I guess I'm kind of skeptic. But I am impressed when they do come out as fake, and you get to see like how much time and effort they put into it. And at first, I to be honest, I was kind of like, really? Why would you do? But it's kind of cool because they get to show that, look, I have talent, like, yeah, maybe I have a future in, I don't know, graphic design,
UI design.
UI design. I don't know, but anyway, like, that's what I think of leaks and good fun, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's funny because the they had that Rayman leak or whatever. It's like, just imagine the amiibo, just a giant piece of white plastic shoved right through the middle of it to hold all the limbs together. It'd be freaking terrible. There was no. It's like, sorry, Rayman, you're disqualified. Why? Because your head's not connected to your body. How are we supposed to make an amiibo out of
that? That's how we'll know it's fake.
Yep.
Until we see an actual Rayman amiibo, there's no way he's coming to Smash.
Yep. Well, it is kind of funny, but that was so
Skylar,
realistic.
I have some news for you. I have in my possession right now a picture of the Rayman amiibo. Yeah, given to me by Reggie himself. So,
whoa.
Reggie Fils-Aimé?
I knew Reggie made the game.
Reggie Thompson lives down the street, but his dad works in Nintendo. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. I have to say, moving to another aspect, like how people feel at companies where rumors are fake or something. Like, I just get this idea in my head where, like, if somebody gets super excited at Nintendo or some other company for some game that's been rumored / leaked, and then if they don't deliver on that leak or rumor, that person gets mad at them. Like, I mean... it can definitely drive up a lot of hype, but as soon as people start blaming the companies for, like, well, why aren't you making this rumored / leaked product? I hate you. It's like, what's the point then? That's when rumors start to do harm to the companies that own these IPs and such. And so I think that people need to be careful and realize people were trying to fool you. It wasn't the company that tried to fool you. It was generally somebody else.
No, you're right. I mean, there's a difference between, wanting a game and kind of demanding a game, like,
yeah,
you can't just, go into direct, and you can have expectations. That's your choice. But once that's done, don't choose to be upset about it when your expectations aren't met. Like, that doesn't do any good. Like, you can say, "Oh man, I wish this would happen," but I'll take the hits, I'll take the punches, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. I agree with you.
Of course, people have they can vote with their wallets, as we said sometime last year on the podcast. If you don't like something that a company's doing, don't buy it, or something like that. And people will generally do that. But when you get mad at a company and are like, I'm not buying a Switch because, Smash Bros. Isn't coming out and I was super excited for that, that seems a little petty, especially when that person probably likes, the Zelda series and other stuff. Of course, still their decision, and I'm not telling them they're wrong, but it's funny to me how people get so worked up over these leaks and rumors that when they don't come true, they just get mad and then, look past anything that's actually good that comes out of it. So...
Or expectations in general, like, not even just things they hear, but
on the other hand, games like Metroid Other M that looked amazing and then turned out to be awful, yes, you have a right to be mad about that.
Somebody lied to me. I feel used. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Another thing is that those who leak, and will never name names or anything like that. That's not cool, but I feel like you kind of break the trust that you have with the people that you tell. And obviously they're probably using secret names or whatever, but it kind of just hurts the industry as a whole, because they know something is happening, they know someone is leaking something, so for the benefit of maybe how the company works, maybe they're going to start firing people, or preventing those leaks from ever happening. I'm just saying, like, there's more going on than you just saying something on Twitter or some forum. In my mind, there's harm that's done that outweighs the good from real leaks and rumors. Now the fake ones, like, they don't matter because they don't affect the companies usually, right? Like, because they're fake. So what do they care? It's like,
right.
Like, oh, you think Smash will be announced in January? Well, we have a surprise for you.
getting announced in April.
Well, are there any other thoughts on leaks and rumors before we wrap this up?
I'm in a love-hate relationship. I really am. Well, more like kind of like and hate relationship. There we go.
Kind of like and hate, yeah.
Because
they're fun,
but
they can really, really be damaging.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That wraps up our leaks discussion. That means no more leaks are coming from us this episode.
Wait. But the Waluigi one's real.
Yeah, that one's real. It has all the frames and 2 graphics, remember?
Yep. It has
all
7 frames per millisecond and 2 graphics.
And 2 graphics.
All the frames per second.
Excellent. All right, well, let's move on to what we've been playing this week. Surprise, surprise, I've been playing more Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I just grind a lot in RPGs, and I said that last week, but I have to say that I have 3.7 million gold now, and every single town, including the Indolene Praetorium, are level 5.
You grind a lot in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Boom.
What are you saying?
That I haven't seen you grind a lot except for maybe Pokemon and Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, when I really want to complete a game, like an RPG, when I just get the itch to 100% it as much as I possibly can, yeah, I grind it like crazy. A lot of games I don't grind. It's just, I don't care. But Xenoblade is one of the ones that I've been grinding like crazy, and I have made very little progress in the story, but I don't care because I'm having fun with side quests and salvaging for hours and
That's
hours.
good, because I like the side quests in this game a lot.
They're really good. A lot of them have got some fun dialogue. All of the blades have storylines that have full voice-acted cutscenes, which are honestly quite a lot of fun for a lot of them. Some of them are weird, but a lot of them are fun. So it's a fun game. Still loving it, even though I'm at, probably like 150 hours total if you include my first playthrough. So, other thing I've been doing is learning Mario Odyssey any percent, at least a little bit. It's kind of the thing that I've been streaming. We do have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Nintensity. We don't have a set schedule because I'm still a college student that's getting ready to graduate, and I've got lots of papers and a huge presentation that I have to finish by the beginning of next month and all of this wonderful stuff. But when I do stream, it's probably going to be Mario Odyssey or Splatoon 2. Any percent is always really fun. I love watching speedruns, and I figured I'd learn how to do one. Oh, and there's the crowds cheering me in the background of Skylar's thing.
Aww.
Thanks,
they cheer
guys.
for you.
Well, they heard and they came and running.
Mario Odyssey, any percent? Whoa!
Mario Odyssey, yes, pulse.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to this past week. How about you guys?
I've been playing some Crypt of the Necrodancer still. Finally made it through phase 2. I'm in level 3 now.
Holy cow.
Freaking brutal as heck. Love it. Lots of patterns to learn, lots of beats to keep. It's a lot of fun. I did try a few of the other characters in the game that they have. I did the pacifist run. Beat the whole game with the pacifist run. Oddly enough, it's easier to go pacifist than it is to fight everything. So
that's kind of how it is in what's it called, Undertale. Doing a pacifist run instead of a genocide run. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
So, question about that. Like, so do you get experience? Like, I guess more Crypt of the Necrodancer, but if this applies to Undertale as well.
Oh, in Undertale, you don't get any experience if you don't kill anybody. You go through the game as level 1 all the way through in a pacifist run.
Interesting, but it's easier.
Like, it's easy because you don't have to get to the ridiculously hard boss fights that the genocide run gives you.
Okay.
The final boss fight in Pacifist is really fun, and it is pretty challenging, but it's not impossible like a freaking final one in Genocide.
Yeah,
it's been, 5 years since the game came out? I can say who it is. It's Sans.
There's no way I can do that. I've seen it. It is.
I tried the fight for 4 hours. I barely got past the first phase, and I gave up, and I just watched a YouTube video that was like, watch me play this without getting hit, and I'm like, you are a god, and I am not going to try that.
I don't blame you.
What?
Skylar, so what about Crypt of the Necrodancer? do you get experience, or what? How does leveling up work in this? If there
So
is
it's a roguelike.
Oh, okay.
So you drop in to each time and you start from scratch. Every time, collect items throughout the level, build yourself up until you reach the final boss, and then find the final boss of the area. Sometimes you get really good drops, sometimes you get really crappy drops. I had a really good streak going this morning, but then I died right before I went down to the boss area.
Oh, that sucks.
In floor 3. So there's 5 floors in the game. The 5th one was DLC. It was like an added DLC bonus along with the new character. So technically there was 4 levels. They each theme differs from each floor you're on. So there's level 1, and then there's 4 floors in level 1. 3 floors, and then the boss. And that's the same for each dungeon. They get progressively harder, the people get progressively more difficult to fight, the patterns change quite frequently. If you really like rhythm games and you like roguelikes, this is perfect, because it's fantastic for fitting both of those audiences. And you have to think really fast in order to get the patterns down. For each different type of monster, because there are a lot of monsters in this game and they all have different patterns. Like, okay, so I'm fighting this guy, I have to do this, but there's this monster right next to him, so I have to think about it like this, go into this square. And you always have to keep thinking, or else you fall off your groove and then you're pretty much dead anyway. So takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort to get to know the patterns, and then to understand what each power-up does as well. Because it is a roguelike, you get random drops. You don't always have the same weapon twice.
Gotcha.
So you have to go through the game with different abilities when you find them each time, which can really mess with your flow. And you always have to be on your feet.
Okay.
But yeah, it takes a lot of mind power to play this game, and a lot of rhythmic prowess.
Rhythmic know-how.
Yes.
And see, I'm kind of interested in the game now because it's James.
What's up?
Skylar built a dungeon for Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday that was kind of themed around Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, that's
Skylar
cool.
played some music, and we had a really cool mechanic where we could only move in time with the music that was playing in the dungeon. Like,
What?
the bodies were locked. It was really, really cool.
That is cool.
And because of that, we could only move or do an action during our turns. But it was really fun. We only got halfway through the dungeon because our party is sometimes pretty slow at getting to dungeons. But it was a lot of fun, and kind of made me interested in Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yeah, the music is awesome too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Some of the best EDM I've ever heard. And not only that, but there's several different genres of music that Danny Baranowski, the guy who makes the music, he messes with a bunch of different genres and puts them into EDM. There's this Latin vibe that he switches over. He's got some Radiohead rock tunes, tons of really cool stuff, disco, really cool beats. Again, check out the soundtrack; it's really good. And then I've also been playing Splunker Party this week.
Ooh, how is that?
It's like an NES game. I'll just tell
Really?
you that. Yeah, lots of one-hit deaths, lots of bombing secret walls, that kind of stuff. But I bought it because it was an NES game, if that makes sense. I really wanted to play an NES-style game again, and this is about as NES as you possibly could get. Splunker Party is based off Splunker for the NES, where you guy jumping from vine to vine, bombing walls, all that kind of stuff. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I like Splunker Party, and it was half off this week, so I got it instead of for $30. I got it for $15.
Oh crap! There was a sale for Golf Story too. I was gonna pick that up. Is it over?
It's still up.
Okay.
Golf Story's still up.
I need to hurry and grab Golf Story and Celeste.
Yeah, Golf Story is $12. Celeste is still $20, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, but those are both worth picking up right now. I was tempted at Golf Story, but once again, I'm not a big fan of NES Golf. So
Fair enough.
Maybe not.
You're like, I want to play an NES game, but I want to play a game that's good. So we'll go. I'm sorry. No, I for Golf Story is really good, but anyway.
Exactly. You got it.
Now, Golf Story is apparently really good. It's gotten good reviews, but it's NES Golf.
As far as I've seen it's more of people really like the story as opposed to the actual golfing. So,
Yeah.
Golf
So-
fun? Man, I'm sorry.
golf fun? Nah. Story? Okay, sure. That's kind of like the vibe I've been getting from the reviews. And
Sorry
Celeste
to
has just been
derail.
getting crazy high review scores, so
True.
gotta try it out sometime. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been working on this past week, just playing those couple of games. Yeah, wrote a review for Ukulele, should be on the website soon, I think.
Yeah, should be up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow, which was Wednesday. I
Yes.
think it's good.
I am super, how you say it, mixed on that game.
You can really feel in his review too. Like
Yes.
he does a
So I don't
good
know.
job of bringing that out.
I don't know if I hate it or not. But anyway, that's me.
So I finally basically finished Breath of the Wild. Well, okay, technically I haven't had all the Korok seeds. I'm sorry, I'm a failure. But
James,
I
what are we
know.
gonna do with you?
I know that requires me of like following a map and
Hey,
I don't
James,
know.
it's
What?
not worth it.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
I feel like it's
I'm
not
never
worth
doing it
it.
again.
I don't know. Like maybe if there's like one day I'm like stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere and I have the Switch and I have internet access or a map to the Korok seeds, then maybe I'll do it.
No, at that point you'd probably just start a new file and just get all the shrines again.
Well, if I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere, like anyway, sorry.
Just use the Korok mask. You don't even have a map.
That's true. Use a Korok map. I guess I could. That helps to have that. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. What I meant to say is I got all the DLC outfits, so I finished everything in the DLC. Finally.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Those last few outfits were a pain to find.
They really were. Like, I actually had to. I'm ashamed, but I had to get some help on one piece of clothing for like the Hyrulean Royal Guard. I couldn't figure out what. And this part isn't a spoiler because the game tells you this. I couldn't figure out what the second floor was. Like, second floor. What the heck is the second floor? Like, I was looking at Hyrule Castle. I was like, okay, I guess in the middle there is the second floor. It took me forever, and then I looked online. I was like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Why it was like it kind of hinted at something. I was like, oh, I should check there, and there it was. Like, gosh, dang it. But anyway, like
for those ones, I had to turn on the treasure chest tracker in the Sheikah Slate. I was like, this is hard. Just for those three pieces.
Does the treasure... Wow, I didn't even use that. I didn't even think about that. Does the treasure chest tracker show you on the map?
No. It's like the shrine tracker. You know, you use the,
it bleeps.
the sensor plus. Yeah, it just beeps and gives you the general direction. I use that a lot for a lot of different things in that game.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't think to use it for the treasure ones, but for the most part, they were challenging, but I was able to get them. I felt pretty good about that. So anyway, sorry, talked longer than I wanted to on that one. Moving on. Fire Emblem Warriors. I picked that up again, because I never got to finish it actually. So I'm gonna try to finish that and probably play through more of the. Or I'm playing through more of the history mode as well. I really enjoy it. While the lack of characters, like we've said time and time again, is disappointing. I feel like the gameplay is probably well, okay. I've only played 2 Musou games, so Hyrule Warriors in this one, but I feel like I have more fun with Fire Emblem Warriors. We'll see when Hyrule Warriors comes out if that changes, but I know I really like the how some enemy, the advantages and disadvantages you have with the weapon triangle. I like the level ups. I just feel like they did a lot of things very well in this one. And I guess that's all I've been really playing with the Switch, but I've also been playing my first ever Tales game. Tales of Berseria.
I'm so proud of you.
I believe Berseria. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a PlayStation 4 game. Came out like 2016 sometime, maybe late. I'm not entirely positive. But when I saw it, it actually really like intrigued me. Like, I really wanted to play it, and I saw the review by IGN, and I was like, man, they really like this game. Maybe I should pick it up. But I didn't have the means to play such game until recently. Yeah, and you know what? I just decided to play it, and so far so good. I like where the story is going. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I guess there's not much to say because I'm still rather in the beginning, but the gameplay is simple enough that it's like you're playing what do you call them? You know, a Bayonetta type of beat action game, you know, where or a platinum game where you're comboing into things with button presses. But it different. It definitely is different, but it does have that vibe. Excuse me.
See, I've been tempted to get a PlayStation 4 this past week because the new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I also really want to play Tales of Berseria and Destiny 2, at least a little bit.
Destiny 2?
Yeah, I actually want to give it a try. I've a lot of people that I know have been talking about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I want to give it a try. Maybe Far Cry, or what's that other one? No, Horizon Zero Dawn. I also I'd like to give that a try.
I bought that one. That's also on my list, but I'm trying to like make sure I don't dive too deep into PlayStation games. Then I'll stop playing with Switch games, which that would never happen, right? I have Kirby, and before that I have Bayonetta to play, so I'll be fine. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. So that Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer looks so good. Monsters Inc. was officially revealed. That was a leak, by the way, a month ago.
That it was.
But they didn't have Sora's monster form in that leak. It was just regular Sora. And so we were all like, what? Why?
Oh, I was very skeptical. Like, I still think Sully looks rather not good compared to like how Toy Story looks, how those characters look.
Oh, yeah. Toy Story looks fantastic.
Looks like they're ripped out of the freaking movie.
Yeah. But it was adorable that Boo called Donald Mike Wazowski because he had one eye.
That was pretty great.
I really want to play that game. I love the Kingdom Hearts series. But well, cool. Thanks for sharing, guys, what you've been playing this week. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Before we end the episode, just like to thank you, our wonderful listener, for joining us in this episode. Your support, just listening, means a ton to us.
Hey, I'd like to give a shout out to Skylar, our co-host, for composing our intro music and our outro music. He's one talented dude. Check out his SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Skytar with a 5. Oh yeah.
And I guess I got to wrap this next part, and I'd like to shout out to our patrons, Chris Chase and Ratmvp. Your support means a ton. If you want to join them, go to patreon.com/Nintensity.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to invite you to join the Discord community. We're trying to set up a fun place for people to visit and hang out. Head to nintendo.city/Discord to join us today, Mac.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to wrap the last bit. Thanks for tuning in to the Virtual Boys podcast this week again. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on iTunes and all that awesome stuff. Be sure to check out our website at nintendcity.com, where you can find news, show notes, and more. This week's show notes will be available at nintendo.city/EP87. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, you good people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.